Hey, tonight on the Cooligans, we're going to be talking about maybe some huge Mexican stars coming to Major League Soccer. We love the rumors.
Oh, boy. We talk about coaches getting fired. We talk a little bit on NBA. We got some video from a big wedding. And plus, your homie's back. That and more today on the Cooligans! Yeah, baby!
Boom! Back in New York.
Ha! No more cat trying to get in front of the camera.
That or a dog nibbling at your toes.
That was kind of cool, actually.
I shouldn't have put peanut butter all over them. My bad.
Glad I did, though. I just dropped some. Decided not to pick it up. Oh, I'm back in New York, baby.
That's right. Welcome back. Yeah, Alexis was in Los Angeles last week.
For 3 weeks.
For 3 weeks, yes.
It was a lot. It was a long time.
That's okay. Yeah, it was good. I hope you enjoyed your vacation, enjoyed your break from New York City weather.
No, it was kind of cold there the whole time anyway. I think there was like 1 or 2 days where it was hot in New York. So,
all right.
Not even really a vacation. The only vacation was taking the subway. I didn't take the subway. That was it.
Okay, I guess it was pointless to go then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know why you have the city out there.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Christian Polanco.
I'm Alexis Guerrero.
All right, we are the Cooligans. We are your favorite stand-up comedians who host the funniest soccer show that you have ever witnessed.
Damn right. But it's not just that.
It's not just that.
It's more than that.
It's more than that.
It is that.
It is.
But it also happens to be the gulliest soccer show of all time.
And that's right. And that's what that shirt says, because a lot of people are curious.
Right. And I'm also wearing the same shirt, so I closed my jacket.
Initially, we were just gonna have Alexis just stand behind me the entire time, but
just hold a bunch of scarves, dude. I'm the tree now, dog. You got demoted.
No, but well, the tree is funnier.
It's never bombed.
So, yes, welcome back. You were not only were you in LA doing stand-up shows, you were also doing
I almost did more podcasts than I did stand-up. Really, so many LAFC podcasts.
And in LA Galaxy.
I won LA Galaxy and a generic, like a general podcast.
Yeah, but it is.
I did like a comedy podcast. I did a lot of podcasts. A lot of podcasts happening in Los Angeles.
But it is cool because what usually happens whenever we travel, like we'll go to whatever city and we'll try to do stand-up shows, or we'll try to get on podcasts that other comedians host.
Right.
But the cool thing about what we do is could be like, yo, soccer community.
Yeah, I get to go to the homes of some of our fans because that's where they be doing their podcast out of.
Look, we can't all be in nice little studios like this.
What's up, Nana?
All right. We all started.
Yo, I get it, and I love it. I mean, I said it on a couple of the podcasts. Like, when you and I travel to places, we make it a point to try to work with some podcasts that are newer, or like, you know, what people really didn't really do for us when we started.
Sure.
Which is like, you know, just maybe if we can add a couple extra fans.
Kind of guide us, you know, like a Harvey Weinstein.
Right. Yeah,
kind of help. Just help guide you.
You know, just a little, you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours.
No, but obviously. No, that's a terrible, he's a terrible man.
Again, Christian said that, not me.
Look, it's topical.
Yeah.
We all get it. Everybody's having a good time.
Speaking of topical. But whatchamacallit, it was a lot of fun, dude. You know, just getting to meet like people's significant others, and you know, like when the podcaster would like leave the room or something, they'd be like, they're so excited you're here. You know, like that kind of stuff is really dope.
Yeah, I guess it is sweet. Yeah.
And shouts to Defenders of the Bank, which I have up here. Really cool. They gave us these pins, which we should show on camera. We're gonna put on social media, where some of the money, it's from a artist from like Watts and Englewood, and some of that money goes back into the community, like half of that money. So if you buy one of those pins, which we're all about.
That's so dope. Yeah. But you did Defenders of the Bank. You did shoulder to shoulder.
Shoulder to shoulder.
Yes.
Which is really dope. I did
Corner of the Galaxy.
Corner of the Galaxy I called into. I did mention Defenders of the Bank, which is the one that free play. There was another one I did. FCFC.
Okay.
Which was dope. It was like in a backyard.
Oh.
These dudes are like just smoking weed and drinking tea. Like there's like a microphone. Like they gave me Hennessy. Shouts to FCFC.
Yo, thank God Fubo doesn't do any drug testing, bro. You gotta love it.
I mean, I didn't smoke, but I definitely had that Henny thing as possible. Also drove afterwards, so I only took a couple sips of the Henny. No, that's why I'm like, I didn't get drunk.
Okay, yeah, well,
like,
it sounded like it sounded like you were saying I drove drunk.
No, they were like, have more. I'm like, don't y'all drive in this city? Why y'all drinking so much? But it was like it was a backyard where they had like a house in the backyard, like a small, like a kind of almost like a studio apartment in the backyard, like built on its own. And they were like, I was like, I have to use the bathroom. Like, just use that one. And the bathroom is bigger than my bathroom in my apartment. I'm like, this is in their backyard. There's just too much space in Los Angeles. But that was dope. And then I did the Urban Pitch podcast, which was really cool. Remember that? Went to that party and they did the article on us. That was really cool. And I did CULLIEST, never seen it. Podcast.
Yeah, that was a cool one. Yeah, you did the show Succession.
Right.
So if you don't know, there's a podcast called Never Seen It. It was a comedian friend of ours, Kyle Ayers, who hosts it, and it's basically
he gets other comedians to write a 5 to 7 page script on movies or shows you've never seen, and I've never seen Succession.
Yeah, I haven't either.
No, so I was trying to find something like I said, what about the Joker? And he was like, we're releasing that one tomorrow.
Yeah,
like someone already did that. And Star Wars I've never seen, and they're like, no, we've done like 8 Star Wars because a lot of people haven't seen it. So I was like trying to find something. He's like, dude, do a TV show. Not enough people do TV shows. And I'm like, well, what show's really popular that I haven't seen? And I was like, I didn't want to do like Young Sheldon or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, really?
I'm not watching that garbage.
You know? I thought you were a fan, to be
big
honest.
fan. But then I realized
Theory,
everyone's talking about Succession, and a friend of ours, the reason I remember this because our friend Nori Davis was on it,
in it, yeah.
And he posted the clip, and I was like, I've never seen this show. So I'll watch the trailer.
Okay.
I saw his clip. I kind of feel like I know what it's about, and I wrote it, and immediately it went to where you think it would go.
Sure.
Yeah, I made it into 2 words: Succession. So you get it. You know, see, Harvey Weinstein was a pretty great reference before.
Yes, he needs a walker now for some reason.
Yeah.
Anyway, what a terrible human being. I want to start the show the way we always love to start it, by showing love to people who show love to us.
That's right.
And we have a review from one of our listeners that I appreciated, and we'll get it on the screen in a second. But this is
I love the title of it.
Yes, yeah, because it did you even see the movie, the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
I did not know that was a reference to that.
Well,
so the answer is no.
So
because I love it because I've never heard Gullyverse before.
Okay.
And I like it.
Yeah, well, it's a great movie. You should watch it.
Probably not gonna.
Probably not gonna. But
I saw one Spider-Man, and there was a scene in it. It was like Tobey Maguire was still the Spider-Man,
Okay.
and they're like, there's a marching band, and he's just by himself mimicking the marching band, and I was like, I'm out. Like just from that one scene, it was so corny. I was like, I'm done with it.
So this is from S. Mateo. I think it's Sean Mateo, if I'm not mistaken. Enter the Gullyverse. Right, that's the title. 5 stars on iTunes.
Of course, or else we don't read it.
Exactly, rules are rules. And the review says 2020 is a year of great things, and I started by finally joining the Gully Squad. Well done. Well done.
All your resolutions are done. You did it.
Wrap it up. This show is what gets me through my drive to and from work. Alexis and Christian provide the most honest, funny, and gully podcast to listen to for all things soccer and the occasional poop story.
Hey.
But for real, these are the best people in the soccer world, and they would they could not be more important for soccer in this country. Congrats on the TV show, and here's to another successful year for the Cooligans.
Hey,
thank you so much.
To you,
Sure.
S. Mateo 25.
So yes, make sure you leave a review on iTunes if you're interested or the podcast app, because we're currently at like 605 reviews. We need 700.
We're trying to get
not?
to that 700. And of course, if you leave a funny or dope or sentimental review, we go and read it. Unless it's not 5 stars, in which case we actually hit like mark is obscene or whatever that is, so that it's gone.
We don't need that kind of energy in our life.
Nah, son, positive vibes only.
And we also got an unboxing, an unbagging, an unpackaging to do today. And this is great. And I know
show the bag itself, because this is the first time the bag has been adorned.
Yes, the bag in itself is a gift, right? And we clearly see Cuauhtemoc Blanco over here.
And it says Blanco's reaction after seeing the new badge.
Okay, so Cuauhtemoc clearly not too happy. This is from the Chicago Fire.
And then on the other side, we have
Dax McCarty, who also played for the Chicago Fire,
right.
now going to Nashville.
Congratulations on no longer pronouncing it Chicago. You've really learned.
It's look, I'll say it however I want to say it.
You used to say Chicago Fire. And I was like, thank you, Cristian Polanco.
Okay, so we got scars. So I know this is from
This looks like a half and half.
This is from Nicole Hack, who is she's the chair.
Yeah. And I don't get it. Oh, I guess they're like in unity here. It says against hate, which
I mean,
let's hope, right? I know people get mad at this like it's like a political comment. I don't understand how Unite Against Hate is considered a political comment now.
Yeah, this is cool. So this is Section 8 and...
Don't you tell me not to like bad things.
Section 8 and
the Wonderwall.
And the Wonderwall from Minnesota. So they... Oh, look at this. So they have like...
Yeah, this is really
a
dope.
nice United supporters. And speaking of the United... the Independent Supporters Council, we'll talk about it in a moment. But this is from Nicole. She says, Christian and Alexis, Happy New Year. I was supposed to send this to you in May, but better late than never, right?
It got here.
Thanks for your friendship, laughs, and continuous effort to grow the game in the States. Nicole Love of Section 8 Chicago, Sam of Dark Clouds, Corey and Drew of the True North Elite. So these are the people.
These are all our homies.
All our homies. So we met them at the Independent Supporters Council. Where we were in Dallas last year.
And Sam and Corey and Sam's husband, they were all at the event we did.
That's right.
At Talisman.
At Talisman with Miguel Ibarra. So
Colin,
yeah.
I want to say Colin. I'm bad with names, so I apologize.
Colin, that is his name.
Colin, hey. Not that bad with names.
So thank you for that. Oh, this is great. So thank you for Nicole. Showing love. Yeah, she again, all these people do a lot of work to help American soccer.
These are stewards of the game. I mean, they're doing way more than we'll ever do to help propel the game forward. They're there they go to Chicago Fire games. I mean, that's enough. Right? You're one of the select few.
I think you get a Purple Heart for that.
You are there's a small group of people that are still allowed to.
Those are the real heroes. Those are the real people that are doing all the work behind the scenes. You know,
right.
It's not just kicking a ball around. You have to help get people there in the first place.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult what they're doing. But shouts to you, and good luck in the new stadium with everything else. Seems like everyone's really excited about everything. That's all I'm going to say.
We'll be back in a moment with big news right after this.
Yeah, baby, we're back. And I'm back. Oh, it feels good to be back.
Yeah, real smooth.
Yeah, that's the whole point, baby.
But yes, we were mentioning there's a huge development,
right?
In the fact that obviously last week we spent a lot of time. We dedicated a full segment, obviously talking about the wedding heard around the world.
Right. The Krashlyn wedding.
Okay. There was no event more important. To end the year, to end 2019. People were like, I'm not even interested in 2020.
Wait, stuff's happening internationally? I don't care about it.
Politics.
What did the cake look like? You know,
politics, schmolitics.
Right? And we had to sit here and pretend like we weren't at the wedding. I know this is a big reveal, okay?
Yeah, we had to do that mainly because of...
Contractually.
Okay, there was an NDA.
Yeah.
And luckily...
Which I watch all the time. Big Knicks fan. That's what you said, right?
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Knicks games should be non-disclosures, by the way. Just don't talk about it. You're not allowed to mention what happened here, other than when we beat the Heat, baby. But there was an NDA. We couldn't talk about it. I know this is shocking a lot of you, right?
Yeah.
And look, there was a lot of evidence of us being there, had to be wiped, okay? But we managed to sneak out a video of a speech we were not asked to give.
No.
But we did give.
But it had to be done.
It had to be done, right?
Yeah.
So who else but us, right? So why don't we do this? Why don't we shoot to it, right? This was so hard to get. Hidden camera and the whole nine. Why don't we shoot to it right now? Why don't we do that?
Okay.
Oh, beautiful. What an incredible time. We're having such a good time here.
Great. I guess we're the only ones who dressed up.
All right, we try our best, okay? So look, first off, we'd like to give a round of applause to all the other speakers. Megan Rapinoe, Kyle Krieger, Sydney LaRue. Sydney, thank you for your beautiful words and for making us stand the entire ceremony and welcoming this new bout of plantar fasciitis.
Woo!
So, hi, my name is Christian Polanco.
And I'm Alexis Guerreros, and together we are the Cooligans, okay? Some of you here may not know who we are, and if that's the case, the only ones really to blame are fuboTV's marketing team.
Okay.
And by the way, it's not Fubo, okay? Forget that. We don't work for LL Cool J.
Common mistake, okay? But today is not about us. We are here to celebrate the wedding of two of our brightest shining stars, Ali Krieger and Ashlyn Harris. World Cup winning badasses whose love and Instagram stories have inspired us all. It's pretty difficult to know when the world fell in love with you two, but I think it was somewhere between that time in the locker room after winning the World Cup in France when Ashlyn said, "Two-time world champs with my wifey," and "This content is gold, bitch.
Words to live by. Okay. Also, before we continue, we have to make an announcement. Apparently, there's a doom buggy parked on the lawn with the license plate WOAH. Whoa. So, Breck Shea, I guess please move your car to an actual parking spot. Come on, man. Listen, as a married man, and by the way, love you, D. All right. I can say that love is not easy. Okay. It takes commitment, compromise, and sometimes a few lumps.
Of course.
It's kind of like being friends with Hope Solo.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Makes sense. So, look, they said you couldn't find two more beautiful people who love each other and inspire millions every day. But they were wrong.
Yep.
Because it's no longer just us. Now Allie and Ashlyn are here. So all jokes aside, you both show the world just how beautiful life and love can be when you are your true self. Yeah. Having had the honor of getting to know you both, it's obvious why you two love each other and why the entire world knows your names. Yeah. Except for Carlos Cordero.
That's true.
He'll get it one day.
That's true, one day. All right, so guys, look, unless the men's national team wants to say anything, no.
Oh, no, still.
No, still no.
Okay.
All right, just gonna be quiet the whole time. All right. All right, well, let's all raise our glass in honor of Allie and Ashlyn.
Hey, what am I... Ooh.
There it is.
Right?
Okay.
We could have gotten killed for sneaking that video footage out.
Okay, I mean, yes, it's very highly confidential, highly classified footage.
Redacted, even.
So I'm glad. This is why you tune into this show.
100%.
To really get the scoop and really get to know what's going on in the world of American soccer.
We're ITK. We're in the know, okay? But not just for soccer stuff, even when there's weddings. We're there, okay?
Okay.
And don't even ask us why there was no one seated behind us.
No, that is unimportant right now. Okay?
Why are you worried about that?
What we need to talk about is how beautiful our speech was.
Also, the suit that I decided to rewear today.
Okay, Alexis has not worn anything in the last 6 months.
That's it, okay? They said, wear your nicest suit. Bruh, I heard tracksuit, okay? That's what your boy wore.
So I'm glad that happened. I mean, hopefully, you know, this can end all the questions of like...
Right, why weren't you invited? We just couldn't tell you we were.
We just couldn't. Okay, all right,
like,
look.
we were there. Stop making it so hot. You're making it hot.
You're asking all these questions,
right?
You're making Allie and Ashlyn uncomfortable, right? To be honest.
Really, and you know, who cares if we weren't like actually invited and we just took the seats of two other players, you know?
Okay, yeah, nobody needs to know. Nobody's interested in any of that drama.
Right.
All right. But no, yes, that was a cool experience. So I'm glad we got to do.
It was a Cooligans experience.
Okay, we're gonna be back with more right after this. Hola, welcome back.
¿Qué tal?
¿Qué tal, mi gente? That's how we have to start this segment because we're talking about there's been some
Brian
rumors. You know how
Latino he is, dude.
Brian McBride, the parcero.
Yeah, I know.
Brian
He's
McBride.
Like, why are these raisins in my ground beef? Yo, shut up, Brian.
You're ruining it.
You're Latino now, dude.
Get on board. No, we have to talk about the big rumor. As of right now, as we're taping this and talking about this, Chicharito, Javier Hernandez.
Let's go.
Currently playing for Sevilla.
There's a picture of him being real angry about this rumor.
He's like, what? What are the Cooligans saying?
Yeah, why are you talking trash about me?
No, he is rumored to be going to the Los Angeles Galaxy.
This is huge for many reasons.
Okay.
One of which, he swore he'd never play for MLS. He's like, that? Never.
No.
I'll play in Mexico for free before I ever go to MLS. And guess what? Cap. He was capping.
All of us, look who's strolling in.
Yeah. Giving a new definition to the salary cap. Lying through his teeth.
No, but Chicharito is, one of the most recognizable Mexican players in the world. I mean, played for Manchester United, played for Real Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen, Sevilla. What other clubs?
That's all I know. The Mexican national team was a huge star for them.
He's a scoring machine. And the fact that, let's be realistic. When it comes to the most popular and the most watched soccer league in the United States, it is Liga MX. Mexican Hispanic fans make up, the majority of the people who watch soccer in this country. So having a huge Mexican star playing in the Major League Soccer would be a completely just tremendous level up for Major League Soccer.
It's hard to explain, but this is like if Christian Pulisic came to play for MLS, it would not be as big a deal.
I completely agree.
As if Chicharito played in MLS.
Yeah,
and he's playing in a relatively Mexican city, in an overwhelmingly Mexican city, I should say.
Sure.
This is going to be, this is probably the only way right now Galaxy can compete with the sort of momentum shift that has happened since LAFC has come in.
Sure. Yeah, this is, if this happens, I'm hoping it does. All the rumors.
Just for the league.
Or suggesting, just for the
he was supposed to go to Chicago, remember that?
That was a rumor,
like,
too.
all the rumors were like, it's just a matter of money. And LA Galaxy's like, we'll get on a private plane. Let's show you how this really goes down.
So, but this move, definitely after Zlatan Ibrahimovic leaving LA Galaxy, what a replacement. This is arguably a bigger replacement than Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
It's like Zlatan didn't even matter. What this does to what Zlatan's legacy is what the Malmo fans did to his statue. This cuts his legacy off at the ankles. You ain't important, dog.
This is just incredible. When it comes to we were at the Tráfico, right?
Yeah.
And in the playoffs, and that was a huge game, and it meant so much. And obviously, LAFC winning and the momentum for just soccer in that city. It felt
like a baton being handed, and they're like, hold on.
No, you're going to have to get that back to me, baby.
I think I might still got that baton, my guy.
No, I'm excited about this. And I've always said that I'm a huge fan of Chicharito. I like him as a person. Yeah. He is one of the more, especially as a Hispanic dude, he is very progressive, very forward-thinking.
He's also very open and loud about how progressive he is, which we like.
Yeah.
You know?
Bleaches his hair blonde. You love to see it.
Right? That... Huge fan of that. He's using sun in.
It's him. Him and Bieber.
Those are the two on par. It's bigger news than if Bieber joined an MLS team.
He's pretty good at soccer.
Bieber is pretty good at soccer.
Yeah.
Like, angrily. It makes me angry. When he was holding a beer and playing like sort of a keep up with Neymar.
Neymar, yeah.
And I'm like, damn.
Okay.
I'd probably drop a beer if I met Neymar. Never mind played soccer with him.
So, I'm hoping it happens. So,
again, Canadian development, right? Incredible. The Canadian development, right? For soccer. You can only play soccer, 3 weeks out of the year? And look what they're doing. It's absolutely incredible.
Sure, yeah. The best product they've ever put out, Canada.
Babes,
good work on that. The other thing I wanted to mention, speaking of a Mexican soccer star, we have to talk about Alan Pulido. We mentioned him last week, but this week they
some of the media is starting to leak out.
Yeah, he arrived to Kansas City,
right?
And it was dope. He got a warm welcome.
He stayed in the airport thinking that was his connecting flight. He's like, this can't be it, right? This airport is a Macy's.
But he arrived to a lot of fans were there showing him a lot of love, which was cool to see that appreciation. It was also like 8 inches of snow,
right.
So a little bit different than Guadalajara, right?
He was like, it's in my contract, no snow. So unless the owner of the team sells it,
he's gonna have to adjust just a little bit.
There's a joke there for.
But the funny thing, at least to me, we posted this on social media, but Alan Pulido arrived in a turtleneck and chain.
With the chain on the outside of the turtleneck.
On the outside, and
but it reminded you
of a legendary photo.
Of
The Rock.
And
there
he
is. You can't tell them. You can't tell the difference.
Favorite part of that photo of The Rock is the thumb in the fanny pack. Why put it in your pocket? Let the world know you got a leather fanny pack, my guy.
You love. This is just great. I'm a huge fan of this.
It looks like Rock cosplay.
Look, I don't know if he did this on purpose. A lot of people are huge fans of The Rock. I could understand it being like an homage to The Rock.
And sometimes to us, like something becomes a joke, and the next generation just sees it as like a fashion icon.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You're gonna make fun of it now that this is fashion and unironically.
Remember that video of those like techno like goth kids freaking out under the bridge?
Yeah.
That one dance is the dance from from not what you're doing, but that one dance.
I think that was it.
That one dance is like wildly popular because of Fortnite. Like here, we all laughed at it because we thought it was corny.
Yeah.
And like 10 years later, they're like, well, this is the coolest thing anyone can do in a Thanksgiving Instagram video.
It's shocking to learn that we're boomers now.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel gross.
Nah, dude, we're never boomers, dog. Look at me, I'm wearing a tracksuit, my guy.
No, it was great because we had posted this on social media, and then a lot of Liga MX fans started interacting with it, and it was fun. I enjoy it because since we're more plugged into the MLS Twitter. Right. Liga MX Twitter is pretty litty.
It's pretty lit.
Yeah, and
it's like an MLS. It's like a Liga MX match.
Yeah, because it has the same exact cynicism and sarcasm.
Yeah, that comes right across.
Yeah, and it's just great because we're not around it as much, but it was lovely.
And also the fans of other clubs loved it.
Oh,
you know?
sure. Yeah.
You're like, wait a minute, is someone making fun of Pulido? Let's go. You know?
And apparently, like, based on a lot of the Twitter comments, he's apparently kind of like a I don't know, introvert to some degree.
Yeah.
I mean, but he lives you can't tell from his Instagram, but he seems like a little bit more shy than like his personality. But he's always flexing on the gram or whatever. Right. So I'm excited to see him play here. How he's gonna sort of adjust because he's not gonna have the same level of eyes on him per se.
Well. You never know. Maybe this brings all those.
Oh, I hope so. So. So maybe he just live a little bit more calmly. But we'll see. All right, we'll be back with David DeLooper right after this.
Yeah, baby, we're back. Oh. This is awesome. We have so many guests on, right?
Yeah.
But very rarely do we have a guest like this. Someone who is in the middle of a mission.
That's right. A journey, a quest.
A quest is a good one. An adventure.
Yeah.
And it almost seems pointless, to be completely honest with you.
This is why guests come on this show to immediately get shit on before they even show up on camera.
So let's have him on and find out what the hell is going on and why he's spending his inheritance this way. Ladies and gentlemen, a friend of ours, someone we're big fans of, who has just gone completely insane on the internet. One of our favorites. Unless you're driving, put your hands together for the one, the only, Mr. 30 for 30 for 30, David DeLooper, everybody!
David, what's up, man?
What's up, dude?
Hello. How are you guys?
So for people who may not know what you're doing, you are trying to get on every jumbotron, right?
In every NBA arena.
Yes.
In 30 days.
So I'm trying to go 30 days, 30 NBA arenas, and get on the jumbotron 30 times.
Okay, and currently, where are you in that journey?
Currently, the streak is alive, 21 for 21. I'm currently in Chicago, on my way to Milwaukee tonight.
Incredible.
So, it's not just trying to get on the jumbotron. You're dressing up in some type of costume, if you will, for something that relates to each of those cities.
Yeah, so I'm wearing the Knicks jersey right now. I got to show love to you guys in the city, but at MSG, actually, I got to go on court, and I was dressed like the Statue of Liberty, so Lady Liberty came through for me.
That's pretty dope.
Okay, so and obviously, when you're trying to get on camera, it's like this is the age of reality TV. You got to flip tables, you got to smack people, you got to do what you got to do to get on a jumbotron, right? So,
which is what, being dressed like Benjamin Franklin and dancing.
Oh yeah.
So we have to ask, what triggered this idea? Why are you doing this, David?
Right? Is it a divorce?
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh man. So the worst part is I told my mom I was going to be on your show. So when she watches this, she's just going to be like, "Oh, you're getting made fun of."
No.
You know what I mean? But,
all the things I can't say to my sweet son.
Yeah.
Saying.
So I love NBA. I became a fan of NBA after college, and I started playing pickup basketball. And then I used to go to all these games. And really, the jumbotron was a cool feature. It's not necessarily about the team and the product on the court. It's actually about the environment and the front office and the fans. So with that, I went to a couple games, and I noticed that regardless if the team is winning by 20 or losing by 20, if you get that one person to dance on the jumbotron, it can kind of change the atmosphere of the crowd. So I fell in love with that, and I said, hey, let's do it.
Okay, and you, yes, you have been dancing a lot. I mean, I'm curious. Are you generally a comfortable dancer, or like is the jumbotron kind of inspiring you to be a little bit more boisterous?
Yeah, definitely inspiration from the jumbotron. I would never consider myself a good dancer, and the first couple games, I had to throw back a few just to get the confidence up a little bit, if you know what I mean. So.
That's incredible. And
do you ever like try to dance the way like the costume would? Like, how would a bull dance? You know.
So like everybody's been trying to tell me to floss, which I've tried the mainstream dance moves, but just instinct and adrenaline kicks in, and then I black out when it happens, to be honest. And then like afterwards, I sit down and my heart's racing, and I turn to the person that's traveling with me, and I'm just like, "Did it look good?" And he's like, well, we got it. So.
You got on. Are any of these teams reaching out to you now that like sort of they kind of like this is kind of taking a life of its own? Like, are people reaching out to you knowing that you might be going to their cities next?
Yeah, so it kind of got picked up a little bit, and then all of a sudden teams are reaching out. So I've had a couple mascots actually reach out from the teams, which is pretty cool. And then now it's 9 games left. It's getting a lot easier. So fingers crossed I can keep this streak going.
I mean, imagine a team doesn't support this.
Right. Which sounds like what the Knicks would do. They'd be like, get it out of here. He's banned for life. You know?
Dolan ruining the streak and everything. So, no, like, I mean, this is incredible. And yeah, we met you through soccer, right? You worked you worked for Red Bull. You worked for New York Red Bulls.
Which, if I think of it, like the first 3 times we ever hung out was only at nightclubs, at after parties and events based on things we're doing. So you saying you're not a dancer, I could prove a little different. You know? I've only ever seen you dance.
But what about...
And I will say it probably wasn't good, though, those dance moves, was it?
I'm not going to say, well, of course, I've already made fun of you. Yeah, no, it wasn't great. It wasn't great, dude, but you danced. You also had a corporate card at the bar, so I'm going to give you all the credit you want, buddy.
What?
Yeah.
Takes a lot of courage in general. But how cool... I mean, this is great. What's the next step? I mean, this would be awesome to see something like this in soccer, right? Is that in the plans or in the works?
Yeah, so the next steps is if I go 30 for 30 for 30, I want to do this with either the WNBA or MLS teams. And MLS teams, like obviously games are, whether a Wednesday, maybe a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it'd be a little bit different, but like soccer is my first and true love. So I'd love to do it for soccer. Yeah. I just couldn't get the time off to do it for soccer right now.
Sure. Because I played soccer against you, and yeah, we hung out with you from time to time, and I'm like, oh yeah, he likes soccer or whatever. But then I played against him. I'm like, yo, this dude's an absolute baller. I can't even keep up with this guy.
He's also got like that, like he's like you're like a lanky dude, so like you're fast. And watching you versus Christian is like, when you can't get those aluminum hangers untangled. You know what I'm talking about? Like that. It's like that. It's like a pile of aluminum hangers. When the two of you play, it's 43 knees and 67 elbows. I don't know how.
No, but something like this in soccer would be so cool. I mean,
it'd be dope, but yeah, you wouldn't be able to do 30 and 30.
No,
it was like open cup and lower league. Like you'd have to sort of find a way to finagle it.
And it would also take 8 months.
Yeah.
Because since the games are weekly. But no, this is dope, man. And the fact that you're doing this and just a dude we know. Wait, you're saying did you take just the time off from work, or did you have to like quit your job?
I'm still luckily full-time employed, but I took a leave of absence. Like my company was super supportive.
Yeah.
Wait, you told them what you were going to do beforehand?
I told them, and they were like...
as soon as you left that meeting, they're like, clearly this is a mental health break. The idea itself is so insane to me.
Yeah.
But it's like everyone loves it. It's making people happy. Have kids reached out? Like, are they started doing this? This seems like something kids would want to try to get to do.
It's cool because some kids have like messaged me, been like, hey, this is so inspirational. I want to save up. I want to do this now. I signed my first autograph on a jersey. And I was kind of like, are you sure? Because like, that's a nice jersey.
Yeah.
It's like a really nice jersey. Yeah. But so it's been cool meeting everybody at each arena and the fan clubs has been awesome because there are some supporter sections, like in Indiana, there's this thing called Turner's Block, which is similar to a supporters club in MLS. So it's cool.
Okay.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, it is. And that's why we wanted to talk to you about it, because it is inspiring. It takes a lot of, I'm glad your job is cool with it, right? Because that's the first thing that comes to mind for a lot of people is like, how can I get the time off? You know? You could have a baby and they won't give you the time off. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You're doing 30 days. What if I think a husband of a wife who has a baby gets 2 weeks? So you're doing pretty good.
Pretty good. So more people need to take excursions like these.
If your wife's gonna have a baby, just be like, I'm gonna go to every stadium. They'll be like, all right, take 30 days off.
We respect that. So.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody, make sure you follow David DeLooper on Instagram, and also the 30 for 30 for 30 underscore on Instagram, so you can keep up with the journey. There's this is going to Stadium 22, Arena 22, and I guess 8 left, and it's incredible. So best of luck, David, man.
And we're rooting for you, man. We hope you get all 30. That'd be dope.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate you having me on. I've seen you from the start, and then also seeing where you guys are now. I love it. So.
All right,
Thank you, man.
Cheers, brother. All right, we'll be back with more right after this. Okay, welcome back. Thanks again, David DeLooper, for joining us. That was fun.
That's so dope. I can't believe he's actually doing it. This is insane.
So yes, we're only connected to people that are out there grinding. All right, chasing their dreams.
Russell, it's grind and hustle put together. A word that sounds way more dirty.
I just hope Grussell gets his contract. That's how I'm really supportive. I hope it works out for Atlanta.
In Atlanta.
We have to talk about some other big news in American soccer. So speaking of the U.S. men's national team,
Yep.
Ernie Stewart finally, I don't want to say finally, I feel like he got a promotion and basically he assigned someone to his
if you're following along, he got a job that had never existed before, waited a year and a half to hire a coach, had mixed reviews so far, which means he gets promoted.
That's how it works.
Yeah, pretty good. Not bad. I think he works for the same company as David DeLooper.
No, it's just like, you sit the employee down, tell him you got a negative performance review, and we're also going to give you a raise.
Right. No one's really sure what your job supposedly is, so we're going to give you a better job.
No, but Brian McBride
takes his old gig. He's the GM.
He's the GM for the U.S. men's national team. And now this is a move where a lot of people feel, people feel positive about. I think that Brian McBride is a U.S. men's national team legend, a U.S. soccer legend in general. He's one of the first players to be playing in Europe. He played in England. McBride was not Fulham.
Fulham. He has like a concession stand named after him, which is an honor if you're me.
One day you'll get there, Alexis.
I mean, that's all I want. Someone
right at the Emirates
where you could buy some type of hot dog or tube meat that has way too much sodium in it. That's what I want named after me.
That's right.
But now they have
Alexis, a.k.a. Tube Meat.
Yeah. Did you read my high school yearbook, dude? That was my modeling club nickname. So, men's national team now has a former men's national team player and standout. Now is the GM. Kay McGrath got hired as women's national team GM.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you are a fan of U.S. soccer or of American soccer and you're kind of been a little bit upset in the past, now you've got Ernie Stewart, McGrath, and McBride, who've all played for the men's national team and women's national team that are now in high up positions.
Yeah, it's in hands that you would assume care about the future of the program.
The word "assume" is a big one there, right? Because are they just here for the check, right? I
don't know. I mean, I hope not, right? You hope that there's at least some level of real care and selflessness.
I certainly understand the position of the players underneath them, so...
Yeah, so, but at least, look, every move U.S. soccer makes, especially with the men's program, is like obviously going to be under a microscope.
Tons of scrutiny.
Yeah, so people are going to ask a lot of questions. And I think Brian McBride, it feels okay. Like, it's not one of these hires where you're like, what?
Yeah, you can't criticize it too much because it's Brian McBride.
And one of the other ones that did get criticized of the U20 coach, I believe which is Anthony Hudson, who was formerly coached the Colorado Rapids and one of the worst ever.
It went amazing. If you're a fan of every other team besides the Rapids.
Yeah, you hope it goes better than it did with the Rapids.
But he was also the New Zealand national team head coach, so it's not a bad person to have at that level. Although,
but nobody has said one positive word about him. Everyone who's played under him is like, I hated playing for him.
And I think the U17s just hired Segares, or everyone calls him Sega.
Yeah.
Which apparently he comes like everyone. That's
a positive one.
Wildly positive one.
Yeah.
Poor Anthony Hudson. He's like, everything else is cool except me.
So I hope it works out. The role for Brian McBride, what I saw listed from a conference call that a lot of the journalists had with Ernie Stewart, where they were basically like, he's going to be the one traveling a lot. He's going to be speaking to the dual nationals. He's gonna be the one, like, that link to the players to probably make them care more about the program and kind of fix the image of it a little bit. So
I can't wait to see Brian McBride in a Mexican family's house. Just trying to convince them that their son belongs not with Ed 3, but right here. Hola, ¿cómo estás ustedes? Sí, por favor, tamale.
I think he would handle it a little bit better than that. He seems like a sweet guy.
Yeah. Or maybe he does no Spanish and he comes in like, Hola, soy Brian. ¿Qué coño? Bang, 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 bang. That's like
I love
McBrido.
Latin McBride. I love it.
It's like when the Costa Rican dudes with the white names. Yeah. Hola, soy Brian McBride. And you're like, wow.
Okay, you know what?
Not how I would have pronounced it, but I got to.
I ain't going to ask any more questions. All right, we'll be back with more right after this, everybody. All right, welcome back. So, the more news as far as more players rumored to be coming to Major League Soccer. It's just like every top Mexican star wants all of a sudden the interest in,
because the bag is here.
The bag is here. La bolsa.
Yeah.
The Rodolfo Pizarro, currently playing for Monterrey, was
huge.
Playing. He was at Chivas, I believe, before that. Another rumor, possibly going to Chicago Fire. Monterrey has always been very public about that he was not going to play in MLS. The next move for him would be Europe. And it doesn't look like that is the case. He is a very intriguing player because he's very, very good.
He's incredibly good.
Mexican.
When you would watch, when he was on Monterrey, you'd be like, yeah, this guy stands out.
Even at Chivas, we saw him when we went to the CONCACAF Champions League game, Rebels against Chivas, and he's just one of these guys. He's similar to Maxi Morales, where you can't get the ball from him. He's just one of these guys, just highly, highly technical. And I don't, maybe I'm not, because I'm not as plugged in to Liga MX, I don't know what the concerns are about him. Because he's not like, I think the people don't have that kind of trust in him just yet.
Right. I think it's because he's always wanted to move. That's what I assume. Just from some of the stuff I've read. It seems like he's been like always ready for the next move, so maybe that's going to be something that carries over to MLS.
Yes,
but he's a huge name, and I think one of the things that we're not realizing as MLS fans is what these players bring with them. Like when we were in Germany, they were talking about how like Philippe Coutinho, like when he goes, obviously a slightly different caliber, but when he goes to Bayern Munich, which is a massive, massive, highly successful club, he has more followers than that club. Look at Wolverhampton. Raul Jimenez, he has more followers. They have now more followers in Mexico than they do in England because he's there. Like these are huge names that bring with them sort of this massive fan base.
And so that's what it is. Pizarro doesn't have enough Instagram followers. Is that why he hasn't moved?
That's why you're not DP, my guy.
How you trying to really? You can't step in here with just a couple 100,000 Instagram followers. That's not gonna move the needle.
Look, I know we're hiring you to play soccer and you're very good at it, but what are you doing doing on the gram, dog? Have you thought about going to every Liga MX stadium dressed as that mascot? You thought about it?
I think about it. Okay?
We'll give you a month off.
All right, look, the off season, you have some time. I feel like you don't really want it, you know?
I mean, look, instead of trainers, why don't we bring in some consultants, some social media consultants, right? This is Becky. She's from Long Island.
She's 19.
Yeah.
But
she's currently looking at her phone and not paying attention. Yeah.
But trust me, you're going to need her for the future of your career.
Right. You're going to be TikToking all the way to a big contract, okay?
Look, we know what's best for you, Rodolfo.
Okay. Can you do that dance? Can you do the whoa right now?
Okay, you need to look. You need to know what are the hippest memes
right
currently going on.
Right. And put on a scantily clad top and lip sync to this song in your dirty bedroom. Okay.
Look, I hope. Look again. This was another huge move. If he goes to Major League Soccer.
These are names that, like, you know, sort of hit like the media, right? This isn't going to make a big. This isn't going to make the top news in ESPN, but it will on ESPN Deportes.
Oh, sure.
And that's a big deal. That's a big deal for soccer, especially in America moving forward.
And we know if he does go to Chicago, I mean, all of Pilsen will be out in Soldier Field.
Chicago doesn't get enough credit for how Mexican of a city it is. This is a wildly Mexican city. So this is a huge news.
And all of this, you know, Mexican players, just Latin American players coming to Major League Soccer this season. It feels like we're on the verge. Like there is a tidal wave. You know, Trump is not happy, but there is. I love it. Just
some of the American players are like, can we build a wall just so that we can get some of this TAM contracts?
Let's sort out the CBA before we bring all these guys in here. So look, I hope it works out, and I hope for Fire fans, they need any positive news is good news, you know, for them. Okay, we'll be back right after this, gentlemen. All right, thanks for sticking with us. We appreciate it.
Through the hard times.
Another episode of the Cooligans. It's been a roller coaster.
This is it, baby.
But we have some quick news. We're going to be at the United Soccer Coaches Conference this week in Baltimore.
We're going to be more, baby.
That's right. And what's happening, coinciding with that, will be the
Independent Supporters Council Conference.
Exactly. So
which we'll also be performing at.
Yeah, we're going to do stand-up at the IC. We had a great time last year in Dallas, and this time it's going to be dope in Baltimore.
Yeah,
so
can't wait.
Both of those things are going to be incredible. So thank you again for tuning in. Make sure you follow the Twitter at Soccer Cooligans, at Fubo Sports.
Leave 5-star review. We'll read it on the show.
That's right. So we appreciate it. Make sure also donate to Australia and Puerto Rico. That's important. So with that said, my name is Christian Polanco.
I'm Alexis Guerreros. Together, what are we?
The Cooligans!